unless you are willing to shift to a position that accepts we need to do something significantly differently, it is obvious that you will disappear. And what that means is you need to be serious about why the public is unhappy on the economy, and you need to start seriously considering the proposals that are on the table for doing something significantly differently on the economy. And maybe, just fucking maybe, you need to pick up the phone and give me a call. And I am going to flash an email address up on the screen here, and we'll put it down in the description. If you are a Labour politician, send us an email, right? The public want change. We're out here getting 1 million fucking views a video, right? We get more views than fucking Question Time. Who is taking the votes that used to go to you? It is somebody who takes their entire economic playbook from this fucking channel. Give us a call and don't fucking die. And on this subject, the subject of who does speak to me and who doesn't, we get to the issue, and I'm really glad to get to this because this is such an incredible story. We get to the issue of the Gorton and Denton by-election. So I know nowadays we get a lot of views from people who are not from the UK, so just briefly explain. Gorton and Denton is a suburb of Manchester, which is the UK's second or third biggest city. It's in the northwest of England. In our system, if an MP stands down for whatever reason, they have an election in that area to decide who the new MP is. So a bit of context, all right? We have a Labour government in this country. We've had a Labour government for coming up to 2 years now, and that government is incredibly unpopular. The leader, Keir Starmer, who is the current Prime Minister, is incredibly unpopular. He is apparently the least popular Prime Minister in the history of British polling, which is obviously quite extreme. Reform, the new right or far-right party, have been consistently polling in first place. But Labour are in government, they have a big majority. There will not be an election, very, very likely there won't be one for 3 years. So we have this strange situation where the party that is in power is incredibly unpopular. They have 3 years of government. The way things are going, they look like they're going to lose. I think unless they change course, I think they will lose quite badly, unless Reform like really, really massively pick it up. And obviously, Labour are looking at the polling, which is really, really bad. They should be looking at the betting odds, which is also really bad. And they need to think about how can we not lose the next election. Now, I've been saying it for a long time, but it's becoming increasingly almost certain that Labour will change their leader before the next election. I don't want to say it really, but Keir Starmer is kind of like a dead man walking. Everybody you speak to sort of knows he's going to be changed. So there's the discussion now in the Labour Party of like, who do we replace Keir Starmer with? How do we not win the next election in the context of Labour being incredibly unpopular? And the question obviously is like, who do we have who's popular? And the obvious answer to that question in this country is a guy called Andy Burnham. So Andy Burnham, you may or may not know, is the mayor of Manchester. And he's quite popular in Manchester. I would say, and I'm pretty sure polling would agree, that Andy Burnham is probably quite easily the most popular Labour politician in this country at this moment, which means that he is kind of obviously the most likely guy to be able to save this very unpopular Labour Party from losing the next election very badly. But the problem is, he's not an MP. He's the mayor of Manchester, which means that he is not eligible to be Prime Minister and he's not eligible to be the leader of the Labour Party. So, one of the MPs in Manchester, which is where Andy Burnham is mayor, which is where Andy Burnham is from, stood down basically with the idea that we can get Andy Burnham to become an MP. And if Andy Burnham becomes an MP, then he can become Prime Minister. and maybe we, the Labour Party, can not lose the next election. Maybe we can win the next election. Maybe we can prevent a reform government. Maybe we can prevent a far-right government.